Alright, I know November isn't over yet, and there's still games that I want to play, but I didn't have another midweek video planned, so today we're going to do something simple. We're just going to talk about all the games that I've played in November, what I thought about when I was playing them, what I thought about after, easy, chill, me rambling about games type of video. So if you're into that kind of thing, you came to the right place, and welcome to the channel. As per usual, I played a lot of games in November. And also, as per usual, I didn't finish a single one. I have the attention span comparable to an unsalted walnut. It's bad. I'm working on it slowly, hopefully. But yeah, November was packed with big games that I played. Banger after banger, and nothing that was outright bad. So at the end of October, I finally upgraded my PC. My old one was basically a Stardew Valley and Football Manager machine. Anything that demanded more power than a 4-slot toaster, I just used my Xbox for. So it was time for an upgrade, and I got a big upgrade. And naturally, with getting a new PC, I got stupidly excited for all the games I didn't have access to, whether that was games that were never on Xbox or just the Steam sales every week that felt like they were traps that were set intentionally for me to step on. But yeah, after a month of having this PC, my backlog is already looking like a health hazard. I really need to learn how to finish more games, but that's a whole other video. The first game I played this month was The Outer Worlds 2. And it was good, but not great. And I don't know if I'm going to be going back to finish it anytime soon, because if a game is just good and not great, and I'm not planning a dedicated video on it, chances are I'll never see the credits. But let's start with the positives, the things I actually really liked. The FPS combat is fun. There's a lot of weapon choices. I like the shooting, it feels good. And, it's good and it's fun, and that's it really. It's nothing crazy, but it's enjoyable. The dialogue is solid and entertaining. It definitely has that Obsidian feel, but I personally like that. I'm not opposed to things that aren't like fully, immersive and excellent voice acting and all of that. If a game is goofy and it knows it's goofy, I'm fine with that. I like that kind of style of game. The exploration is good enough to keep me entertained. It's nothing crazy like a game we'll talk about later, but it's also fun enough that it's not boring, it's not empty, and it's colorful, and I like it. It's good. But what bumped this game up from like a 5 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10 for me was the RPG mechanics. And let's start with the character creation sheet. So the first thing you pick, or one of the first things, is your background. You could be the gambler, or, you can be the rogue or whatever. There's lots of choices you can pick what your background is, and I love that. I love when a game gives you this choice, and even if it doesn't fully show it in the gameplay all the time, it's fun to have that, role-playing experience of like a little kid giving his Lego minifigures lore, like I just like it. I like choosing my dialogue options based on what my character is in my own head. The flaw system is also excellent. I know it's been talked about a lot, but it's amazing. Like the way the game sees what you're doing and just says like, oh, okay, this is who you are. We're gonna make it a key part of the gameplay is awesome. It's reactive and it makes it feel like the game is, watching what you're doing and implementing it into the actual game. The consequences were great. It's where the game really shined for me in the RPG aspect of it. There was a part very early in the game where you had to infiltrate this base, and then it triggered a self-destruct, and your companions wanted you to, redirect the explosion into space, but I didn't have the proper engineering skills for that, so I couldn't. So when we got out, the base self-destructed and completely vaporized the entire city, and one of my companions was furious. She blew up on me and just left the party. And that might sound like a bad thing, but I love it. I love when a game lets you fail, like forward, like it doesn't take you back and say like game over or whatever. It gives you consequences that make you really think about your dialogue options, where you put your stats, and everything you do in the game. So this part was great. I love when a game lets you fail, and I love the consequence that it gives. Overall, The Outer Worlds 2 is not a bad game at all. It's actually pretty fun, but it's just nowhere near Game of the Year for me, so I don't know if I'm going to go back to play it. Either way, I spent a good amount of time, enough time for sure, that I think I can talk about it, so that's kind of all I really needed out of it. But yeah, it's good. It's entertaining, kind of like a slightly spicy bowl of oatmeal. It's good. All right, we're gonna lift up the energy with a game I actually love. Anno 117 Pax Romana. This game was amazing. And I'm not a big city builder or strategy type of guy. I don't usually get into those games, but I really got into this one. And it's probably my favorite strategy slash city builder I've ever played. I might have, graphic tinted glasses. This game looks amazing, but I think I've put enough time into it that that's not the only thing that I like. But we'll start there. We'll start with the graphics. This game looks incredible. I would encourage you to give me another RTS slash city builder that gives this level of graphics in the comments. I would love to hear if there's anything else that looks this good, because I genuinely don't think there is. This is, for me, the best looking game in the genre. The way that you can zoom into your city, like into the individual buildings, and watch your people live their lives, and they all have their own things that they're doing. And it's all in full 3D and it looks great. Like when you're up in the sky and you're looking at your city from a bird's eye view, it looks good. But when you zoom right in, it looks even better and it's amazing. And the lighting is the real star. I mean, watching the sun rise and set over your Roman metropolis is just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I love that part of this game. I could go on about how good this game looks, but let's get into the actual meat of the game. The city building is polished, intuitive, and surprisingly beginner friendly, which is something that a lot of games in this genre refuse to be, which is probably why I don't get into this genre as much as I probably could. I mean, I know I could learn all of the complex system of the other games, but this game was great for someone who doesn't really play this genre a lot. I love that the game lets you screw up without derailing your entire operation. Like, if you forget to put a medical building somewhere, you'll get like a small illness outbreak. Pretty much the game saying, hey dummy, don't put your citizens right next to your fish factory kind of thing, Like, it lets you realize that you messed up, fix it, and then maybe the next time if you don't fix it, it'll be worse. The city building in this game is such a good balance between not overwhelming players, but also not being too easy that it's boring. It strikes that perfect medium that I think is great. The politics is where this game really shines. You're constantly making meaningful choices, whether you want to focus on the military or the arts, whether you want to side with the emperor or his wife. That might have caused someone to die in my playthrough, but I don't know if that's a canon event or if it's just my bad choices. Either way, it really tickled my RPG-fueled brain in a way that I really liked. The choices and the consequences are great. Going to the region of the Celts was amazing. The game asks you whether you want to impose your Roman ideals or let them keep their way of life. And that part was really, really fun. Like, do you want to be this strong leader ruling with like an iron fist and completely wiping out the entire Celtic religion and way of life and imposing Roman ideals? Or do you want to be a bit more, forgiving and, just kind of govern from the background and let them do their thing? This was great. I love that part of it. The combat in this game, the strategy part, it exists. It's fine. It's definitely not the main part of the game. This is definitely a city builder first, strategy game second, which is fine for me because I honestly prefer the city builder way more than the combat. Maybe that was because it was more of an afterthought, but either way, if you are looking for an actual strategy game, maybe not this one. This is more of a city builder, but the strategy's there. It's fun. It's good, but it's not anything as good as the city building at all. Overall, Anno 117 Pax Romana is a fantastic game. It's definitely that type of game that I'll just be popping into here and there over the next couple years or so. It's great. Now for a tonal whiplash, we had Call of Duty Black Ops 7. This game plucked me right out of my Roman haven and popped me into the most average FPS experience of 2025. I played this game for two reasons. One, it was on Game Pass, so it was free for me. And two, I'm a YouTuber now, I guess, so I felt obligated. I'll make bad decisions in the name of content. But yeah, this game isn't bad. It's good. It's actually quite good from a multiplayer standpoint. The gunplay feels great, which you'd expect from a Call of Duty game. The maps are probably the best set of launch maps we've gotten since, God, I don't know, maybe even Black Ops 2. Like, the maps are really, really good here, and it's fun. It's a good multiplayer experience. But hearing how bad the campaign is, which is a part that I always look forward to in a Call of Duty game, it really made, it really just sucked all the enjoyment and excitement I had for this game right out. Like, if I'm not gonna or if I'm not gonna play the campaign and enjoy it, there's really no point in putting hours into the multiplayer. It's felt lifeless, you know? If this game released like before 2020, I would be all over it. I'd be sweating 10 hours a day with the rest of the gremlins, but nowadays I'm kind of over it. Like, I don't know if it's just me or if everyone has the same Call of Duty fatigue, but I don't know. It just feels empty, like a nostalgia sandwich that forgot the cheese. And it is nostalgic, right? Like, it feels a lot like Black Ops 2. And it gives you a lot of the great things that we wanted for so long, like classic prestige system, a game that feels and looks like Black Ops 2. It gives you classic matchmaking, that's back, which is great. But as I said before, just a little, too late, you know? This was a short segment because the game is mid, and talking about it is even more mid, so let's move on. The last 3 games I'm going to talk about are games that I am still playing and I will probably finish. I know, shocking, right? But these are all older games, which hopefully doesn't speak to the quality of games nowadays, but either way, let's get into it with God of War 2018. The first game when I upgraded my PC that I thought about was God of War 2018. It's a game that I've wanted to play for a while, but I've always been on Xbox and my old PC didn't run it very well. I tried, but it wasn't great, so I kind of just waited until I got a new one. But yeah, this was the top of my list, spiritually at least, even if I played 3 other new releases before that. But anyways, God of War 2018 is amazing. I'm about 10 hours in and I'm loving it. I don't even have anything bad to say about it yet, and that's amazing. Combat, even playing on mouse and keyboard, which I'll probably switch to controller next time I play because it was definitely made for that, but the combat is awesome. It's weighty, it feels like impactful, and it feels like you're playing as a God of War, which is exactly what it should feel like, but it's amazing. And Kratos feels surprisingly light and fast, which something I didn't expect. Like, I thought he would play like a fridge wearing boots, but he actually feels like, you know, you dodge roll and you move quickly enough, and it feels good, right? The way that you can, you know, throw your axe at an enemy, beat him up with your bare hands, and then recall your axe mid-combo, it feels amazing. And I know, it's a bit derivative in terms of combat, but it executes it really well, and it just does it in a way that feels fresh, and the combat here is some of the best I've had in a game in a long time. The writing is the other standout. The Kratos Atreus dynamic should have been annoying. It had every chance to be annoying, but somehow it's actually like really good and it makes the game better. I don't know how they did it, because usually when you have like 2 characters on a screen and they're constantly talking at each other, it can get really annoying, like really fast. But the way they talk to each other and their banter and, you know, the dynamic there, it works really well. Every time Kratos hits Atreus with a grumpy boy, like, it's just amazing. Like, it makes me laugh every time. And every time his tough facade cracks and he gets a bit worried or concerned about Atreus, it's just amazing. Like, it's total dad energy and it works great. The dwarf brothers who upgrade your gear are probably my favorite characters in the game. The way they banter and chirp each other, and they're funny, and the voice acting is great on them. It's amazing. So the voice acting, dialogue, you know, writing, it's all great. Overall, this is one of those games where I will be very disappointed if I don't finish it, which usually means I will finish it, however long that takes. But yeah, I'm very excited to jump back in and see this one through because I'm really enjoying it. Since my new PC pretty much made my Xbox obsolete, I had the big brain idea to take my Xbox and trade it in for a Switch OLED. And yes, I know the Switch 2 is out, and I know I just bought a last-gen console, but I haven't had a new Nintendo console since the 3DS, so it was long overdue. And even if it's a last-gen console, I have a whole library of games that I've never played before, and I've wanted to because I still use my 3DS to this day, but I just haven't been able to justify it. So this was a big upgrade and it was long overdue. The first two games I bought for my Switch were Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And let's start with Wonder. Wonder is pure, unfiltered gaming comfort. This is my first modern Mario game because, as I said before, the last Nintendo console I had was a 3DS. So I never played a Wii Mario game, Wii U, Switch, or Switch 2 Mario game. And honestly, it shocked me how good the graphics were. And I've played a lot of Mario in my day, but only old ones, right? Like when I got my Switch, before I bought Wonder and Breath of the Wild, I downloaded the Game Boy Advance library and I was playing Super Mario World. And obviously that game's old, right? It doesn't look great. It looks like Mario and I love it. And top tier music, I might add. I haven't played that game in a long time. That might be the best gaming soundtrack of all time, but that's neither here nor there. Mario Bros. Wonder looks fantastic. Like, I booted it up on my Switch and then I was like, holy crap, this game looks awesome. Like, genuinely amazing. And it's fun and it's creative and, you know, the mechanics that it offers you, like it just keeps on adding stuff, all the different badges that you can get to kind of enhance how you play. It just throws so much at you and there's so much to do, and I'm having a great time with it. The best part about it though is probably, and I don't know how new this edition is. I'm not sure if this is the first game that did it or if every game since the 3DS has done it, but there's no time limit, which is awesome because the game has so many mechanics. It looks great, so you can just spend as much time as you want jumping around the world, and there's no time limit. It doesn't take you out of it and make you fail because you didn't go fast enough, and that is brilliant for me. I love that part. This Mario Bros. Wonder is easily going to be that, like, I got 1 hour to kill or, you know, just a little bit before bed kind of game for me for a long time. And I'm very excited to just keep grinding away at the levels because there's a lot here. There is at least one bad thing about this game, and that is that it's just way too easy. Like, I know Mario is made for a wide audience and a lot of kids like Nintendo and like Mario, but I wish there was just a bit more difficulty. I'm early in the game. I've played only about 5 hours, but I just wish there was a few optional levels that, you know, I had to try over and over again because I couldn't get them. And this is coming from someone who's only ever played old school Mario, which was relentlessly challenging at times. So it's kind of a system shock. But this Mario game, Mario Wonder, is a bit too easy for my liking. Still though, it's very fun, very enjoyable, and very cozy. And finally, last game of the list, one I played right before I started recording and one I will play right after I stop recording, is Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I knew this game was good. Everyone knows this game is good. But I didn't realize just how much I was missing. Like, oh my god, this game is incredible. As someone who grew up on Nintendo, like I had the GameCube and then 2 generations of DS before I got an Xbox at all, I somehow never got into Zelda, which was weird because that's like a big franchise, but I was just more into Pokemon and Mario, so I've never really played a lot of Zelda. So I'm coming into this as a generally newcomer to the series. And this game has me hooked, like instantly. Like I accidentally played for my entire day off, kind of hooked. Like I was invested. The exploration in this game is the real standout. I mean, I don't know if I've ever played a game that even comes close to this level of exploration. Like Elden Ring might be the one that comes to mind, but I think this game does it better. Like the way that there's no story, I mean there is, but I've not really been interacting with it. Like it comes up every, you know, hour or so, you do a little thing, but for the most part, you're just wandering around, you know, stumbling upon shrines and little side objectives and little like field bosses. It's great. It's so good. It's great. It's amazing. The combat is good, you know, not mind-blowing, but it's good. And there's tons of way the game lets you experiment with it, and not just the usual, you know, combat, stealth, or talk to them thing that a lot of RPGs define as options. But this game actually, like with the mechanics that it gives you and everything, it actually lets you tackle different objectives and scenarios in unique ways, which is awesome. The puzzles in this game are really fun. They're short and they're quite easy, but as someone who gets frustrated with puzzles pretty easily, they make me feel smart without getting me too frustrated, and that's great. There are a couple negatives for this game, the first being the music. Kind of forgettable at this point. I mean, the only reason I talk about it is because Nintendo usually has great music in their games, but this one, it's fine. I haven't gotten to any like major story moments or dungeons or boss battles yet, so I'm sure it'll ramp up, but so far, like even the theme is just, it's fine. It's good. It's whatever. The other nitpick I have with it is that the lack of big dungeons. Like the shrines are there, but they're really short. And then it's like one chest and then one puzzle to complete. You know, I wish there was a bit more. Zelda's a dungeon crawler, right? Like I want there to be a big, expansive dungeon that takes me like an hour to get through. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there will be more because it is Zelda. There should be more. But I've completed or not completed, but I've explored the first 3 regions of the map. I guess you can say first 3, but it's really open world, so it's like I've explored 3 of the regions so far. And I've yet to see a full-scale dungeon, and I want there to be more of that. I'm only about 7 hours into the game, but I'm hooked. And I know this game is 50 plus hours, but if it keeps it up and keeps this level of excitement that I have in it right now, it will easily be one of my favorite games of all time. So yeah, that was the games I played in November. Full ramble sesh, just talking about games, you know, sitting here and going over what I've played, what I thought, what I liked, what I didn't like. So if you like that kind of thing, if you like this chill kind of video, comment and like. I'd like to know what you guys think. And yeah, let me know what you're playing this month. I would love to hear it. And as always, I've been Janky. Stay tuned for the latest gaming news, controversies, and discussions, and I will catch you in the next one.